Hello everybody, how you doing today? I had a whole bunch of videos stored up for you guys to put a video out for this morning, and last night while I was monkeying with my phone I lost everything. Gonzo. So here we are making a new one. It's December 24, Christmas Eve. Get ready, one more day. We actually had our Christmas last night with the family. All the kids came out, grandkids were out. So never got no video of it, never got no pictures of it, but whatever, that's our family, and maybe some things need to be left a little bit private, right? What are we doing today? I just cleaned up, the cows pretty much had all this cleaned up here in the fence line feed bunk area. The bulls are not on cut feed yet. They still got a quarter of a round bale feeder. I'm letting them clean up, but I pushed a bunch of the snow out of the way. Pushed a bunch of snow from in front of the barn that blew in. And our feed bin over there, it's piled right there. I'll have to fire up the tractor and get this snow out of here. But with my feed bunks here, it's kind of a tight spot for some of the cows to get their heads and stuff into, because I've got it on the calf setting, which is lower. So I gotta undo the cable and run it through the upper setting. Now this one up here is wore right out and part of it broke out, so I'm just gonna let it run tight up on the bottom side there. But I can run it through at the end, in the middle there, in the middle here, and I think we'll be fine. And then when we do eventually bring the calves from that corral into this corral, I might have to lower it down again. But yeah, some of the cows are having trouble getting their head through and reaching to eat properly, so I thought I'd raise this cable. It's still friggin' cold. It was minus 35 Celsius here this morning. Not much wind, but it's supposed to be on the warm-up trend here now. So I want to let you guys go while I readjust this cable, and I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Alrighty guys, well, we got the cable moved up. I left it right here. I left it in the lower setting. You can kind of make that out right there. See that? So it's right there. The higher setting is up 6 inches up there. But I left it in the lower setting for these cows. This allows them to reach a little better, and that way they can eat more freely and easier off of the fence line feed bunk. This is what I call my fence line feed bunks. In the future, out in this corral, you can kind of make out through the slabs, you can kind of sort of see fence posts out there. There's a water line that goes out to that corral, but there's no power in that corral, so that's why there's no water out there, because we haven't got power out there to put a heated water bowl out there. I'm just gonna pull ahead here. So there you go. Now you guys have seen me going in and out of that corral a few times, but there is a water line roughly right in between those two posts and back about 10 yards, 15 yards. So the plan was to build a fence line feed system for that area also. That way if we wanted to buy a bunch of calves or feed a bunch of cows, have feeder cattle of some sort in that corral, I could probably stick about 100 head in there if I really wanted to. But at this point it hasn't been done yet. Whether that's gonna happen, how close to the near future that'll happen or not, I really can't answer that question at this point. But those posts are set, if I remember correctly, 15 foot on center all the way across. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 posts, so it's almost 200 feet from one end to the other, like from the slabs here all the way down to that gateway down there. So we'd definitely be able to put a few cattle in there. We just got to get the power out there, right? But these girls are fed here now for a couple of days. I scraped all the old kind of garbagey type cut feed out of there, and generally all I do is dump it over the gateway for the bulls, and they rummage in it and clean it up, so to speak, because it's something a little bit different that they're not used to getting. So they'll be good now. Like I said, the bulls are on a round bale for right now, an alfalfa grass bale. So these girls, they're doing great. They're all happy. I got to get in there and clean the snow out of there, obviously. Look at the snow on the roof of the barn. Oh my God. But not doing that today. So that's one job out of the way. Had a few issues with that turnbuckle. It seized right up, and I ended up busting the friggin' turnbuckle, so I had to come up with a different plan, and ended up finding an eye bolt about 10 inches long. And instead of a turnbuckle for the tightener on my cable for the cow, that's corral number 1, I put this eye bolt in there, and it works equally as well. What else are we doing? Oh, there's CP checking on the piggies. Giving them treats, and probably brought them some water, I'm assuming. We're hauling the water from the house. We give them warm water. And so and we did have the mule deer were in here. Little bastards, the young ones were on top of the bales over there. And we had a half decent sized 3x3 and then a really nice 4x4 buck about 11 a.m. this morning. I don't know what time it is now, but it's later in the day. Cows out there are all good for today. They're all coming up for water right here. So had a couple of guys ask, where's the water for the cows that are way out in the bush pasture? So the cows are way out there, if you can make it out, kinda, sorta. I know my windows are dirty. My camera's probably a little on the dirty side too, but anyways. The cows have to walk basically about 1/8 of a mile, quarter of a mile, I guess, all the way to right there, right behind the shop. That's where the heated water bowl is. So they come up here for water. That's where they're crowded around, right there, the water bowl. And then they walk back, and some of you might say, oh, BP, that's too far to have them cows walk when it's that cold. Well, when it's really cold, yeah, it's kind of sucky to come for a drink of water, but in essence, it actually is a good thing that we have them walking the way we do, because this way it keeps them in shape for calving time. Those cows that are in the corral, we're gonna have to watch them a little closer, because we're not kicking them out, because we're afraid if we kick them out, they're new to the herd, they'll fight too much, and then we could end up with abortions from them fighting. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is, for these girls out in the bush pasture, it'll keep them in better shape for less problems at calving time. The cows that are in the corral, we'll have to watch them a little closer at calving time, so we don't have too many issues with abortions or whatever, or calving problems. just about ripped my cable down for the god darn winch because I didn't close the grapple. Here we go. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's still friggin' cold, so I haven't been doing any welding in the shop. And if somebody doesn't like it, too friggin' bad. My shop's not a big heated building like lots of guys have. I'm not that guy. So we work in here now when it's a little warmer. When I was younger, 10-15 years ago, I would have played in this shop every day. It didn't matter. I was welding in here all the time. Minus 30, minus 40, it didn't matter. But now, if I don't have to, absolutely have to be in here, I don't come in here. But we do have the other wall for our round bale feeder is welded and built here basically. I just got to put the bars that go up and down, and then we flip it over, quick weld the other side, and then put our cross members in, our end pieces. The piece that would go from this side would come across to when this one is standing up. And so, anyways, that's enough chit chatter. I'm gonna let you guys go. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Even though it's not New Year's yet, I'm gonna say it now. I'm sure you'll hear me say it in the future. And fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch y'all later. Well, guys, just got in from picking the eggs, doing chores at the barn, blah, blah, blah. Look at the size of this god darn thing. That friggin' egg is huge.
Maybe you were having an egg when you were having kidney stones.
Maybe. Just got to get them all washed up. We're averaging anywhere from a dozen to almost a dozen and a half eggs a day. I don't know what the hell we're going to do with all these eggs. Oh well. Start eating eggs. So much for the cholesterol problem. Or rectification, because now it's going to become a problem. Well, guys, from CP and I, like I said before, Merry Christmas and a happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
See y'all later.